All right, July 29th, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, the biggest boxing match in years. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. And joining us now on the right time is Errol Spence. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just cool and relaxing, getting ready for my big fight.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like getting ready for a fight like this can involve so much cooling. Like, this seems like something that would be kind of consuming.
Nah, man. That's just my whole. That's basically my whole mentality and aura, man. I just cool, relax, calm, even before the fight. Like I'm just calm, relax, because my whole motto is, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Whatever happens, it's gonna happen regardless.
Yeah, and I remember the first time I was about 15 years ago now. The first time I was around a boxing camp, I was covering a dude who was getting ready to fight Klitschko, and I went to the camp. And that, I think, for me was like the first time that I got the full understanding of like how intense the training for boxing is. Like, so for you to try to give some indication to people about the physical demands of getting ready for a fight like this, how would you describe it?
You basically just stressing your body out, really, man. You just working hard, trying not to overwork yourself. And that's why you got to have a great, corner and people around you too to stop you from just overworking and training too hard and knowing when enough because you're just trying to be prepared for everything that could happen in the fight. So you just running nonstop, 5, 6. I run like 5, 6 miles a day, strength conditioning, being in the gym doing bag work for like 30 minutes, mitts for like 30 minutes. So a lot of work goes to it, and just watching what you eat, drinking number water, coconut water. So it's just everything that comes with it, sparring partners and working out and just being 100% just focused on the task at hand.
Now, you are originally from DeSoto, Texas, outside of Dallas, and you play high school football with Von Miller. But the thing that jumps out to me about that is you fight at about 140. I'm trying to think about you playing high school football in Dallas at that size. That's some big boys out there. There's not weight classes over there.
Nah, but I'm a big guy too, so I might fight at 147, but that ain't what I'm weighing when I'm not when off season. That's not what I'm weighing at all.
Like, how far do you have to get down to get to fighting weight?
I can walk. I walk around probably 176, 175. So and I got to get down there. So if I wasn't boxing, I'd probably be in the 180s.
No, I got you. Now, I want to talk to you about this fight with Terrence Crawford on July 29th. In 2022, you said that this was the fight that you want. It took another year to come together. You've said that for about 5 years, this has been the fight that you wanted. What is it about this fight that you wanted for that long?
I think this is a important fight in boxing. This is the best versus the best. He's the best 147 pounder. I'm the best 147 pounder, and we're fighting each other for all the marbles. So I thought this is historically, historic fight right here, and everybody wants to see this fight. This is, on everybody. This is probably the fight that everybody want to see. Well, this is the fight that everybody wants to see. Boxing fans, non-boxing fans, everybody wants this fight. Everybody talking about this fight. When I'm walking or when I'm at the store or anywhere, this is the fight that people want because they ask me about when I'm going to fight Terrence Crawford or what's going on with me and Terrence Crawford. So I feel like this is in high demand, and so I want to give the fans what they want and give everybody what they want and satisfy everybody and satisfy myself too. So I'm just giving people what they want.
When you say satisfy yourself, what do you mean?
Basically what I want. This is definitely the fight that I wanted just because this for all the marvels and this what everybody wants. It's like when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Tommy Hearns or Marvin Hagler. That's the fight that everybody was, basically that's the fight that they wanted. So for me, I'm about giving the fans what they want. This is the fight that they want. I feel like this be huge. This is gonna have all the stars at the fight. This is gonna have everybody on the edge of their seat, before the bell ring. just for this fight here. So I feel like I give everybody what they want and give myself the gratitude of fighting a great fighter like Terrence Crawford and getting the history books and beating one of the best fighters in the world.
Well, I think one of the frustrations for fans, and I imagine the frustration for you, is how long a fight like this can take to come together. So, what took so long in this case to make this fight happen, given that you wanted it and Crawford certainly seemed to want it?
How long you think it took to happen?
Well, I think from what I've read, it said, I mean, you mentioned this at first in 2022. I've heard people say things as far back as 5 years in trying to make this happen.
I mean, 5 years ago, we weren't gonna get 5 years ago. We weren't gonna get the money that we get now for the fight. So for people to say they wanted to happen 5 years ago, they're just selfish thinking on their behalf. Just because he only had one belt 5 years ago, he didn't fight Sean Porter 5 years ago. He didn't fight. Um, Basically, he wasn't fighting anybody 5 years ago. He was just a good fighter. And the exact same thing with me. 5 years ago, I didn't fight Sean Porter. I didn't fight Danny Garcia. I just had one belt. So for people to say that, that's just been two good fighters fighting each other. I feel like at this time, you got two great fighters fighting each other. They're fighting for the undisputed, and we just fighting for all the marbles, and we're basically fighting to be the best fighter. To fight, whoever wins this fight, that's the best fighter in boxing. 5 years ago, we would have fought. They wouldn't have said that's the best fighter in boxing. So I think for people to say they wanted it 5 years ago, they just selfish thinking on their behalf.
No, I can understand that. Now, Sean Porter is a common opponent that both of you have. And it was interesting reading what he had to say about the difference between fighting you two. And this is a quote from him. He said, Errol was prepared to beat me at my game, and Terrence was prepared to beat me at his game. Like, do you think that that's a fair comparison between the way the two of you fought him?
Uh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Because I came in there with. I mean, I just came in there trying to fight him basically, and that Sean Porter game is the fight, and I basically came in there, just trying to go at it with a guy that's known for just fighting. And Terrence Moore was, trying to box and then he'll get you in the later rounds instead of in the early rounds. So Terrence Crawford stuck to his game plan and his guns. And for me, I was just like, yeah, we're gonna fight.
Well, one thing that's interesting, you and Crawford did an interview together. I think it was just a couple of days ago where you were rating each other's skills, and you seem to have a very high respect for him. But every time they asked you to rate something of his from 1 to 10, you said that his fight resume was a 0.5. Crawford's average on all the things for you was a 7. Yours back for him was a 5.4. Like, how much of that is just kind of the fun of promoting the fight, and how much of that is just really how you see it?
Some of it how I see it, and some of it just fun promoting the fight, But some of it, I mean, just like the opponents. I mean, I don't rate his opponent high, but I rate his skill level and talent super high, but not his opponent level.
Now, with his skills that you rate high, like, what do you think is the biggest thing that you're going to have to deal with from him?
Just his talent, his feet and just how he throw punches, but that's about it.
When you say his feet and how he throws punches, what do you mean by that?
Just he got quick feet sometimes. When he wants to get on his toes and move, and he throws punches like kind of wide and looping shots too.
Yeah, I would feel like though, like the wide and looping shots seem to be the ones though that would give you a better chance to counter off of, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Now you are from Dallas. I'm from Houston, so we got the little Texas thing going here. How cool was it for you coming out for a fight and having Big Tuck lead you out to the ring?
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was dope because I grew up watching, listening to Big Tug, DSR, all that. So that was a dope experience for me because I feel like that's more of a Dallas anthem, especially mostly all Big Tuck songs is like a Dallas anthem. Like if you from Dallas, you know Big Tuck, you know DSR. Like they basically like the staple of Dallas, you know, even now. So it was dope because basically everybody was just singing the song and rapping and you know, and everybody got live as soon as they heard the beat drop. So that was dope just doing it for the city and most of my fights, you know, I try to get a Dallas artist to walk me out.
Now, for you, when you think about all the things like since you've been doing this, what's the coolest thing to happen to you as a result of being Errol Spence like championship boxer?
Uh, my checks keep getting bigger and bigger. That's the coolest thing for me, man. Checks keep getting bigger and bigger, and just you know, like when I just certain times when I just go to my mama's house and give her a check, give her some money, give my dad some money, and just you know, just seeing especially my mom, just seeing how happy she is when I give her money, especially the first time I ever gave her some money. So that's the most dope moment for me.
There's got to be some moments and experiences, though, right? Like, yo, I'm in this room, I'm in this place because this is who I've become.
All that don't matter. Me getting my mama money is a dope experience for me. Everything else don't. That don't. Me being in a dope place with a whole bunch of rich folks, that don't mean nothing to me. They there because what I done and what I accomplished. My mom gonna be there regardless. So that's the dopest moment for me. Me get my mama money.
No, I can see that. Now, something else I saw that was interesting is that you made some statements last week about the sanctioning bodies in boxing and that the fighters pay these fees for title fights, but nobody really seems to know where the money goes. They asked the sanctioning bodies about it. They didn't really say too much about it. Why did you feel it was important for you to say something about that?
I mean, because we need structure in boxing. NFL has structure, basketball has structure. Soccer, everybody got structure, but said boxing. Boxing is like the wild, wild west. You know, it's lawless. If you got money and influence, especially you got influence, you can make anything happen. So I think we need to have a little bit more structure in boxing and just know where stuff going. Why is this? Knowing just why for things. You know, why is this? Why is that? Instead of just doing it. Like we need to give the boxers, we the one making the money. We need to give them some say so, at least, you know, tell them what happened. But I feel like it's not gonna happen until, you know, boxers can get to come together, but boxing sit up like that where boxers don't come together and they don't unite because we kind of split apart. Well, we are split apart. So everybody not gonna top guys in the sport not gonna come together.
But I think it's not even just the fact that they don't unite, but you also very rarely hear anybody of your stature even say something about it. Like, does that part surprise you or disappoint you?
Uh yeah, a little bit, but I mean I can see why, but yeah, they don't. I mean, a lot of guys wait till they retire or wait till they out the game. You don't hear somebody talk about it when they're at the top. Like I think Jamil just spoke out about it too. Jamil Charlo just said something about it, and now you're hearing a couple guys say something about it. But you know, we need guys to talk about it who's in the game and got some skin in the game, and at the top level talk about it more than guys who's already retired. I mean, it's dope because they definitely have wisdom. They know what's going on in the sport because they've been through there. But you know, they need to talk to us, and we need the young guys or the guys that's at the top of the sport to talk about it more than anything.
So one thing I thought was cool in doing the research on this is that some of your earliest memories of being in a Jamaican barbershop, your pops from Jamaica, and watching Lennox Lewis fights on the cable box. Like, how does it feel for you now being the dude that people are watching fight in the barbershop?
Uh, nah, that's a dope. I mean, that's a dope feeling. That's because at the time I wasn't boxing at all, so I wasn't thinking about me, you know, hopefully being there one day. So just genuinely just watching boxing with my dad and other people and just seeing, you know, just seeing Lennox Lewis. I remember seeing Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson when they had like all the cops lined up. in the ring, so Mike Tyson wouldn't attack Lennox Lewis, and just seeing how big of a fight that was, and just the magnitude of it. And now I'm in a fight of that magnitude. It's just a great feeling, and I feel like me watching that and learning from that, and just seeing those type of things, and just seeing how excited and genuinely happy just the guys in the barbershop was, and they was, side betting, and laughing and, arguing with each other, and just knowing that it's gonna be people just like that doing the same thing when me and Terrence Crawford fight. That's a dope feeling.
Well, what made you want to get into boxing? Because I remember when I was a kid, I didn't even want to do karate or nothing like that because them dudes would get to hit me back. And that was never an appealing proposition for me. Like, what made you want to get into this?
My dad, my dad. I mean, I didn't want to box because I felt like I already knew how to fight, so I didn't want to box. But he seen me outside playing with, basically in the gloves and slap boxing with my friends, and getting a little bit of trouble. And basically, it was summertime. I ain't have nothing to do. I had a lot of idle time on my hands. They say idle time is the devil's playground. So my dad didn't. He already know I get bored and hang out with my friends. I can get into whatever. So he took me to the gym, boxing gym. I don't know why he thought about the boxing gym out of all the things I could have been doing, but he thought about the boxing gym, and he took me there with a couple of my friends, and I stayed and ended up doing it. And they left after a while. It was too hot, too much work for them, so they got out of it. They didn't have anybody push them. My dad pushed me in the gym and told me that because I wanted to stop because my friend stopped, and he was like, "Nah, you're not gonna stop," and made me keep going. And doing it 6-7 days out the week becomes more natural to you. And it's shit for me. It's like using the bathroom. It's natural. It's just a way of life for me now.
How much is your pops loving this now? Like seeing all this come together as it has.
Oh yeah, he definitely loved it. My dad's like my shadow. He's always with me. Always, he might not talk a lot or just be in the forefront, but he's always right there on the side of me. So it's a dope feeling just having my dad there and just knowing that he's gonna be there for my whole career, and he's been there since the beginning, and he the one got me into it, and we're gonna just ride it out to the wheels fall off.
All right, man. So how's this fight gonna go? Like how do you see this going on the 29th?
I see it going. He's definitely a great fighter, so he's definitely gonna put up a great fight. He's gonna come to fight, but I see me basically just breaking him down, beating him up, and hopefully getting the stoppage in the later round, or me just battering him, beating him up throughout the fight and winning the fight.
All right, man. That is Errol Spence. Check us out. July 29th, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas on Showtime. Spence versus Crawford. My man, I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much.
No problem.
All right, man.